And we're in game one. No deck tech for today because we're not sure what we're playing against our opponents. Checking their profile, taking a bit of time to see if the little notes that we give to ourselves are bearing any fruit. And to that effect, we've just jumped into the game, checked our opponent's profile, no words, so we can blind pick. Uh, were I choosing, I'd probably pick Sigismar. I think it's the most balanced deck. A lot of play. Can go under the top of the bigger decks. Can go over the top of the lower to the ground decks and eke out advantage both ways. So I think we'll do that. Except we've seen a lot of that one, so I'm a little bored. What else is blind pickable? Basira, Atsadi, Afanis are all probably pretty good. The rest have some rough matchups, especially Tracer and Waru, so we'll avoid those ones. We'll play Afanis. We've been jigging with that deck a little bit, and we'll see how we go. Orak and Kibble, we've got Banishing Gates for their bigger things that they want to play. A lot of interaction and ways to trade one for one. And what do we got here? 2 boosts or more means that we are unable to boost it and get something into reserve this turn. A little disappointing. We can set up something next turn. Maybe the helping hand will be good. So maybe we'll go Izmir Signet will be good to return. Obviously if we play the magical training, that's going to go straight to the bin. So I think this is what we'll do. Mountain Nymph. What do you got here? I don't think we're running any field reinforcements in the list anymore. Asked a couple people whether they thought it was good, so we don't really care about advancing on opposite sides early on. And we'll just recoup a card. Can't bounce the Nymph. Can't get an extra boost on the Caregiver. We'll have 4 mana to play with, so we're hoping to get a 2-drop. And we doubled up both cards in our hand. Awesome. We could Conjuring Seal here, but I don't think that's useful. Drop the Caregiver on this side. Helping Hand keeps it around for another turn, bounces the Izmir Signet. If they just want to use the Nymph, they can trade 1 for 1. Although we could actually block that as well if we use another Helping Hand. But I think we're okay just trading 1 for 1 here. The Contortionist means they won't have to get rid of anything from reserve, so, you know, love that for them. And we'll take another spot. Still not entirely impressed with the expeditions that we've got down. Weak for our Caregiver on both sides is rough. And we could Caregiver, Helping Hand, Moth to a Flame. Although we do like keeping the Disciple around a little bit. And what would our turn look like if that were the case? Do we just get rid of the Conjuring Seal again? We're flush for choices. We're going to be keeping cards in hand. I think we'd like to keep some creatures in play with the Moth to a Flame and the Disciple. Signet's flexible, we like that. We'll see what they want to do with this. Winter Outfits is an interesting choice on that side. Could have played out the Moth to a Flame first. Would have had to survive with the Caregiver to get the Helping Hand down on it. We'll just drop the Moth. Take a relatively free 1 for nothing. And play the rest of the game from ahead if we're lucky. Those Helping Hands have been good for the Caregiver here. 2 of those gone already, which is a bit sad. Beauty Sleep. Do we like that? I actually think we do. One, two, three, four, five, six. We could play out a bunch of things. Get rid of the Signet's our only removal. Beauty Sleep's pretty zesty as well, but Spindle Harvesters looks a bit rough here, considering we're not in green on either side. We could take the little extra power and block them off on that side, but we'll figure it out. What have you got? Got a Bliss Basist. Moth Signet. Beauty Sleep looks pretty good. Uses gets the 2 spells going that we need. Three or more base statistics. Sticky Shroom. Get rid of that one. Keeps it away for next turn as well. We'll just boost our cheeky little fella again. They can't break the ice. They have to drop another one of these. Wouldn't have got the aerolith token on that side, so I'm assuming they're going to play the contortionist and go 1 for 1 here. We're okay with that because we get our signet back. The caregiver finally disappears. Thank you for your service. And we're looking okay here. They're going to have to get rid of 1 card. I'm curious what they intend to remove. Got 2 creatures, a removal spell. Winter outfits is probably considered surplus to requirements. Still no green for us. They'll be able to use their hero's ability next turn if they play out the boosted bassist and the shroom. And what are we best off doing here? Probably just Disciple, draw a card. Does that change anything? If we Mage Dancer, we can't actually get anything down, so we'll just pass the turn here. We're alright with that. No tough is nice. Baba Yaga ain't it, Chief? I'll drop the Spindle Harvesters first, see if we can bait out that Break the Ice. Probably not, but if they decide to play around it, we can actually sabotage with the Signet and still get a boost. I think if we dropped the Mage Dancer, they would have just snapped it off immediately. Put the boost on our Spindle Harvester here, which is nice. And then our remaining mana can be used on Disciple's Beauty Sleep Mage Dancer. We need to play, if we play out the Mage Dancer, we're going to have to play 2 cards, 2 spells in order to trigger its draw a card ability. And we can dislike that. Okay. Don't have to worry about that next turn, hand-only ability. If they have another one, that's cool. Are they just going to try and chain Nuits together? Perhaps. Oh, no way. Alright. Oh no, that's cool. Okay. Do they have another one in hand? If they do, we're kind of stuffed, I guess. Do we play around it by sleeping? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Guess we can't necessarily play around it. So if they have it, they have it. Up to them. It's a 1-of in their deck. 2 Nuits already accounted for. One, two, three, four, five. So we can play. Is that okay? I'll put a boost on the Mage Dancer anyway. Not going to be able to get a boost on the second Mage Dancer because they would have just slept it. Second Tech Lab unit means they'll resupply next turn. If they choose to play it out, that means no Twinkle Twinkle. 10, 10, 10. Alright, 2 Banishing Gates in the bin, which are our 2 much cleaner answers to Hydracina. So we're probably looking at a 1-of copy of Beauty Sleep to use. 19 cards. Draw an extra one with the Mage Dancer, which is okay. Bounce the off you go. None of their creatures can block on blue. 4 characters, all with 0 in blue is nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So if we get rid of the off you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, that's fine, mate. we're cool with that. No sabotage. That may do it for us. See what they want to do with that info. And all of a sudden they can represent a whole lot of power. One, two, three, four. Okay. We're okay with this. We have a plan. We'll just see if we can outmuscle them. 4, 5, 6, 7. We're just going to try and contest as much as we can on this side. Beauty sleep at the end. See what they want to do. Bliss bassist. We're going to boost the spindle harvesters here because we still get the 2 boosts for the mage dancers. They're currently representing 13 mana or 13 power on the hero side, and when we beauty sleep, the Hydracina will go up to 14. So we should be able to advance on both sides. Even if they get ahead on the companion side, we'll double advance to their single, and we should have it locked up. Beauty sleep. We were very lucky to draw that one. I will admit. So they go to 9 plus 4 will be 13. And we should be okay. They'll advance, won't block us. 9 performance counters. They could have got something for free at some point. Although they played 1, 2, 3, 4 this turn. Everything goes away. Get rid of those 2. Hit them with a GG. There you go. No notes there about our opponent. So we'll drop that for next time. And move on to the next one. What does the second game have in store for us? I don't know. Didn't plan this one. I'm in a rush. And we're in round 2. Checked our opponent's profile again. Still no word. Didn't expect it to be. You know, in the whole grand scheme of things, we don't really play that many of the opponents that we see, especially if we play at the same time each week. So blind pick again, we established this. 1, 2, 3, 4 decks we can probably think of. Navenka's not that bad, but I think that deck's a little bit cheeks at the moment. It's good if you get a good hand to open up. Can really run away with the game. But let's play Basira. Nadir and Bubbles. Pretty even stats across the board for us here. What can we get done? Colourful Cuckoo's not that great on turn 1. I like the idea of Wingsuit Jumper helping hand next turn as well, but Tiny Djinn Fire Rabbit is also good. Maybe like 1, 2, 3. This way we can play Tiny Djinn helping hand. Not use all of our mana, but then next turn Tiny Djinn's away, we can Haven Seringar helping hand. Draw a card on turn 3. If we could keep a 4th card and still have 3 mana, I'd like the jumper. That would look pretty zesty here. Could go super aggro on turn 1, Tiny Djinn Fire Rabbit helping hand, just use all of our cards, recoup none of them. Try and ramp like mad here. Oh, we have a choice. Alright, let's do this. If they sabotage, we're kind of stuffed, because Jumper helping hand is our turn 2 plan. Could be a turn 1 plan and then go with the Tiny Djinn, but if they decide to block us, we're going to be behind. Yeah, stuff it. Let's do that. I like drawing cards. Cards are good. No cards, bad. It's hot in Australia at the moment. Not right now, it's pretty late at night, but gotta stay hydrated. Okay, I don't like that. Does that mean Lyra Contortionist is coming out? No, Seringar. Damn. It's alright. We weren't to know. Do we do it to him? Double Tiny Djinn boost on this turn? Probably not. We want to keep the Parliament of Ashes in hand because at least one landmark is necessary for our good old-fashioned Foundry Armourer Pigs combo. They do Seringar 1 drop. That's alright. We can play around it. If the only play they have is the Seringar, we block them and take our advance back. But if they've got a 1 drop, then most certainly trade. 1 for 1 here. Seringar and the winter outfits are gone, so we're up a card from drawing an extra with the jumper. Can get an extra 1, 3 to 7. A Klut looks zesty here, sorry. And if we find another helping hand off of the draw in our next turn, our reserve still won't be empty to trigger it, but new unique surprise! Did want to play this one at some point, but when it gains a boost, draw a card, you play it from hand. If your reserve is empty, it gets a boost in fleeting. It goes nuts with helping hand. That's about it in the deck. Obviously gaining extra boost is super nice too anyway. Alright, just blue. That's strong for us. Do we just... I think we just lock in the gains. It's fine. They'll probably have that little blue guy that has 4 power. Sabotages if he's in blue, or he's facing an expedition in blue, something like that. But we have nothing in reserve, played around it. Alright, a Klutz looking like a multi-turn play here. See what they want to do. Koi. Good time to draw it, eh? That ain't bad. And we even everything up. No, he's gigantic. I'm stupid. That's okay. It's late. It's like 1:30 in the morning. I need to go to bed. Alright. Part 1 of the combo has turned up, so landmark is prioritized here. Get rid of that guy, see what they want to do with their koi. If they keep it in reserve, we'll probably just rip it from them. We can bouncer, we can jumper. Sea nymph's okay. Can't play koi out this turn. The cloth cocoon could get rid of our parliament as soon as it's in. We'd have 4 mana left. Sleight of hand. So they bounce it and they'll probably use their green marker wherever they end up next turn. So we've missed our opportunity there. Probably should have just bounced it first. That felt greedy in hindsight. And get rid of the mountain guide so they can't play anything cheaper. You are restricted to 2 mana, sir. Alright, we had the choice. We could have played Tiny Djinn or Fire Rabbit here. They forced our hand by using the Lyra Navigator in order to boost to keep everything up. However, if we can get into a spot where they're butted up next to each other and we have the combo in hand, we're still not too stressed about that. If we fall any further behind, we're going to struggle. Let's see, green map marker on our expedition is likely here, so they can just draw another card with the koi. Wingsuit jumper looks a little slow here. And I believe Bouncer Serengar Duel of Grit just flat out loses to the koi. So I don't think that's a line available to us, except for the extra boost off of the bouncer here. very reluctant to drop the pigs early, considering they'll have first dibs at sabotage next turn. If they sleight of hand the sea nymph back, he just goes away. We'd only draw 2 cards off of the Eclut here. So I think we'll start by playing slow. With the Tiny Djinn, if they sabotage away the bouncer, we can effectively lock up the hero side. We'll boost the Djinn. They may resupply or drop the Koi. We've still got 3 mana, so they have to think about Haven Bouncer. They don't know. They don't know we have none of those left in the deck, and I think that was a mistake. Because now they can just play out the Navigator and win. Or they won't win, but they'll nut up against each other, and we're basically hoping for our combo here. We know they've got a gigantic creature in hand, so Mana Eruption's live. Nine mana is Keelan Cylinder, Tolarian Skater, Eclut. Or we can scout the Skater, play it out after. Still have both of their markers. So they might switch our expedition here to green. That would be a good choice since it takes us off brown. Or they can green their one so as to advance on both sides with their Koi. If they have any interaction in hand, we're a bit stuffed. Another Skater and a helping hand. Don't know if that helps us. In the face of their 6 mana, we're really hoping for a Mana Eruption there, I guess. What are we looking at here? Winter outfits. And then some other creature. Hate that for us. Yeah, we played that previous turn wrong. Huh? What? Ah, tough one. Get wrecked. Okay, we can keep the Occlut around. No ways to actually boost it. And we potentially may have been better off just advancing twice here. That's on me. Really strange choice there from me to do that when we have a win condition being one expedition behind. Duel of Grit looks good here. It's a bit late in the game for Keylon Cylinder. I think we're playing catch up a little bit too much. Character you play this turn, so if we play out a landmark we don't actually get that boost. Another skater might be good. See what we can do to block him out. They'll now likely play the Koi this turn for their 4 mana, 9. So Will-O-Wisp, Sandman plus Koi is the 9 mana that we're using. Draw an additional card, see what they want to get done. We need another creature out on the other side, so I think it's time we drop our piggies. They are now unable to Sandman if they play it out. On our character anyway. 3. Gains a boost. We'll target both our units. We'll block on both sides and see what they want to do with their remaining mana. If it is the Sandman, we should have it covered with Fire Rabbit getting a boost on the Skater and then double boosting this side. No. Yes. Okay. Doesn't really matter. We're going to get rid of the Fire Rabbit anyway, I think. We've got another character to drop here. And now we're back. Alright, if we'd advanced on the other side, actually would have just ended up bloody winning there. Let's see. They're playing first, so they have the opportunity to sabotage our piggy away. Which we don't necessarily like. Duel of Grit might still see play here. We can get rid of their koi if our pigs gets into play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think we like the flexibility of the skater a little bit more. So if they don't have sabotage, we can put one creature on each side if they don't have any sabotage. If they get rid of the pig, we're probably in a fair bit of trouble here. So can we... Still haven't drawn any extra cards. They would have sabotaged straight away if they'd done it, if they'd had it. So I think Kaori's Intervention is fine to play here. Then we drop Pigs, Skater, Skater, Duel of Grit. Against their 8 mana. Down 3 to 3, 2, 1, 0. Alright, that's the plan and I'm sticking to it. If we go to tiebreakers, we go to tiebreakers. That's cool. We will survive. A lot of toughness on the board. Boost both our creatures. We will pass that. Boost whichever one. Oh, don't pick that one. She goes away. Woof. That was a rough one. Alright. Decent matchup there. Got lucky with a few of the cards. Thankfully our opponent didn't have removal. And they were playing... I never remember this hero's name. Nadia. Okay, we're going to say that it's Lyra because we're going to forget that. But there you go. 2 from 2 onto round 2. We're back for game 3. Checked against our opponent's account, and we have a lead. Yay! It happened. We've got it listed that our opponent plays Basira. Obviously, they can surprise us with that, but one of the decks I think that does well into red matchups, at least in some of the builds that we've had, is Akesha and Taru, so that's an option. We could also play Sigismar, removal heavy, draws a bunch of cards. Still does okay trading 1 for 1 into the mid game, but it can lose the rails a little bit if it doesn't quite come together. I think we'll do it. We'll see if we can stall out with Akesha and Taru. If the game goes quick and we lose this one,
and we're wrong, maybe we'll play another one. We'll see. Could be a 4-match kind of day. Alright, 2 celebration days. Field reinforcements is not a great start, but we get to play second. Love that for us. Fleeting means we don't get the alchemist to come back, which is a bit sad. But if we want to keep the celebration day around, gonna have to make some sacrifices. Alright. We'll let them play first. Probably going to play a 1 or 2 drop. Tiny Djinns, Haven Serengars, they got options. Parliament of Ashes. Okay, we've got one option here. Pray for a 1 drop. We'll draw our card first. Discard a card from reserve. If we do, draw a card. Obviously not useful right now. A lot of stuff to recurse. We're praying that the top of our deck can provide. But at least they only go 1 for nothing. If we do get to set something up, I mean, that's 6 mana in a turn, but Alchemist, Baba Yaga do play pretty well together. Notably only playing the common version of Blade Dancer. Some Basiras are running around with the rare versions. Get to keep them around for a couple extra turns, recoup cards that way. Pretty impressive. But I think what we'll do is actually get rid of the Alchemist here. I like Silas better than it, based on the texture of our board. One, two, three, four. They'll go to They'll go to 4 with the Blade Dancer, so they can trade. One for nothing. If they have another Blade Dancer in hand, or like a helping hand or something, we'll probably be in trouble. So what we'll do is off you go into the tough and see what they want to do. Forgot about tough there. It's a bit of a rough one. It obviously let us auto pick when you're not playing ranked. There's no undo, which I would have done there. So, you know, keep that one in mind. They've got another Tiny Djinn. Not a fan of that. Alright, so this is cool here because it lets us play out 2 creatures. We'll see what it is that they wish to accomplish. And if they want to play out their Blade Dancer Tiny Djinn, that's all of their mana. So we can at least get 1 back, actually end up off the mark. It'd be pretty brutal for our opponent to Sakurabro us on the next turn, which they'll be able to do. But we'll see what they want to do with their decision. Discard, off you go, recoup a card. Tooth Fairy, likely not ideal here. And if they have another 1 drop, Fire Rabbit would let them block on the Tiny Djinn side. We'll see. If they target the Blade Dancer, we'll know they might not have another play there. Sinissa coming in clutch. And we called it. Literally the card we pointed out. That's kind of cool. Look at us go. So 2 to 6. Gonna need a bit of help here. But we are up on cards, which is nice. They'll be able to recoup some if they choose not to put anything into mana. We'll start slow with a magical training. Aether Shard, probably a bit behind for that one, though I would like to have it in play. If we trade 1 for 1 for the next 2 turns, we still get a chance with the Celebration Day, but we're going to have a lot more cards that we need to rip through here. If they had Sabotage, they would have used it on the Sinissa. Blanks both our Baba Yaga and obviously gets a bunch of power off the board. What do we want to accomplish here? Still have the Basira boost in hand. Alright, so what can they represent here? This looks like a job for Tooth Fairy. One off you go in mana. Sad that we couldn't hit the Trickster there. Still think we're too far behind for that little fella. Put another card in hand for the eventual Silas that we intend to play here. Studious Disciples. We'll see what they want to accomplish here. Playing out the Baba Yaga around the Sabotage. It's fine. What are they going to be able to do? See, so this will add 5. So if we Silas, they'll helping hand themselves to 5, 6. Suppose we'll drop it anyway. See what they want to do. It's basically free. This will be 5, 6. To our 5, 5 because we played out the disciple. Cast the Conjuring Seal anyway, get a couple extra cards. Options are always good. We can get rid of that pretty comfy because we want to keep these Studious Disciples around as much as we can. At the moment we have a free Field Reinforcements. Blizzard's not a bad pickup at some point. I think we're looking at Baba Yaga here. We'll discard the Trickster. I didn't play that one out. So now if we Blizzard, the Cuckoo will be able to send itself to the bin. Or to mana, sorry. Shame we don't have a 1-drop to use here, but I think had we played the Recruit out on the other side, they may have considered playing out whatever they've got left, depending on how good it is. We'll take the 1 back. The good thing about doing it the way we did is that we still get full value out of our Field Reinforcements here. So an extra magical training isn't too bad either. Slowly clawing our way back. Only losing by 2 expeditions does not look as bad as the blowout that we were expecting right at the start there. You go first, champion. Probably drop out the Cuckoo. Vanishing Gate costs 5 with the Parliament. We could magical training. If they don't have another creature, we're okay. But I think we're sort of at that point where we need to use the Celebration Day. If they have another creature in hand, we're kind of just stuffed. We can get rid of the Cuckoo with Banishing Gate at some point. Though I would like to hold on to this for another turn if we could manage. I think we're under enough pressure. Just pass, keep cards in hand. Not able to accrue anything. Couldn't get an Aether Shard into play in an aggro matchup. We'll see what we can accomplish here. That is a lot of spells. We'd have 10 mana, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Does something. Gate at least helps them not ramp. I think we get rid of the magical training. I like the idea of more cards in hand for the Conjuring Seal. They'll need a 4-drop in play for Silas. Four, five, six. We can't Banishing Gate and Silas here. Using the extra mana only opens up our Off You Go. Guess we'll just start by drawing some cards. Blizzard would have been fun. That's absolutely something I would have thought of. I think the wheel's off a little bit here. If they have a second creature, which you'd assume they do, we're just sort of donezo here. Came close, but I think they're going to have it. Something gives me the sneaking suspicion they've got something else in play. Oh, that would have been brutal. If we'd actually sequenced differently, might have been able to get away with it. That's alright. Got a bit unlucky. Got a bit lucky there too. Hit him with the GG. Move on to the next one. 1, 2, 3, doesn't matter. Still sticking with Basira. And let's do another one. 4 games, why not? And we're back with game 4. Love that for us. Opponent has no notes on their profile, and I think it's time we pull it out. So Sigismar is still largely blind pickable, I would say. But don't know if he's top dog anymore. Gonna have to get rid of something here. So the Ascended Trooper and hope they play a 2-drop. We could ugly duckling teamwork training. I think we're better off just keeping the trooper. I really like teamwork training in this matchup. In most cases, obviously if they play a spindle, chuck it in mana straight away, but can flip an expedition pretty well. This might be better. So what we're going to be looking to do, we're playing first, so we can play a relatively non-committal Soar on one side, probably the companion side. And if they choose to contest on the hero side, well, we can boost the trooper and still have an extra power, even though it's not getting its effect triggered, because we have the token. But yeah, I don't actually think that Sigismar is top dog anymore. Bravos and Axiom in particular seem to be playing a lot more strongly. Strongly? Yeah, across the board. With the last two sets, they have they've gained a lot of ways to draw cards. So Wingsuit Jumper, Leviathan Spotter. Oh. Pass the turn here. They're like us, but you've got Daniel and the cooler Daniel here. But Leviathan Spotter, Wingsuit Jumper, Parliament of Ashes all draw cards in red. Then brown has their Abandoned Depots. Obviously, Aerolith tokens were a pretty huge hit for them as well. And I think just in terms of consistency and the amount of answers that you can have, especially with all of the hungers rolling around, booms are pretty good. Having access to your own hungers is also really good, and the fact that people have to answer it or play it absolutely knocks Sigismar off the perch as the best hero in the game, which is a shame. Put a lot of money into the uniques that we've got. Still happy with him. Like, he's fine. I'm not going to be upset that we get to play him. But yeah, not the boogeyman of the format anymore. All those versions of Bravos and Axiom heroes in particular that just draw a lot of cards. Obviously, that's an angle that you can start beating Sigismar on now, considering Ozma and Baba Yaga are both no longer playable. You've got the hunger and a lot more options for beating Sigismar on board in Izmir, and then the Lyra and the Fen lists have both these really good tempo options in Venka and Cowrie, but also you have to worry about the Lyra Festival decks out of those colours as well. So the format is largely balanced at the moment. I think every deck's a threat. There's no free wins anymore. You know, back when it was just the Beyond the Gates cards available, I think we basically considered Mooner as like a free win. Didn't play a lot of relevant removal, didn't play a lot that couldn't be hit with our own removal. You could just accrue advantages that way. But as the card pool is balanced, I think the game devs have done a pretty good job at giving other people tools to beat it. Obviously, it's kind of the only hero that turns up with any regular basis. You see some Gurang and Waru lists popping up every now and again, the occasional Zen and Zephyr, but those three heroes seem to have died for Sigismar's sins a little bit. Just check quickly, our opponent is just deciding, apparently. And we'll see what we can get done this turn. Haven't even spoken about our turn, we're just whinging about how we don't get to beat everybody all the time in every matchup anymore. You know, proper crash out moment here. We could soar to delay a turn for a decision, see what they want to achieve, and then either Ascended Trooper or Alchemist here as we see fit. Council plus Alchemist out of reserve is 6 mana, so we don't get to play that next turn. So if we hold on to both of these over this turn, we'll be okay. They made it back, and they apologised. Added a boost onto Contortionist, and there we are. We'll see what they want to achieve. Okay, how does this interact? If they play out Flore, they won't get to soar. They can go to 4. We go to 3 on that side. I guess we'll make them have it. If they play out Flore with the boost. I don't know if that was the right choice. I think I counted that wrong. If they boost and then play Flore, they kind of just take a 1 for 2 here. Can we accomplish anything here? No. We'll just play out the Trooper. They'll get an extra card. We'll hopefully recoup ours in the future with the Council. Wondering if we should find space in the list for a Hypothermia or 2 as a cheeky little way to keep this card around more often. Pretty easy to hit the extra character each turn that you need. Token, Council, that guy. And look at that, we've got everything. All 3 uniques, that's really... Yeah, I wasn't ready for this. Alright. Let's see what we can accomplish. We want to contest on the companion side here, because that's where their green is at. So that's how they draw a card with Spindle Harvesters and obviously Rin. 2 mana in the Flore, Anchor, have to spend their 5 mana with the cards in hand, or 3 mana. One turn short of playing out Kokoba and Alchemist in one turn. Council plus Council will be good next turn. Don't achieve anything there, so I guess we'll just block. That's what we'll do. Lock in the card that we get with that little fella, unless they sleep it. I'll just drop out the spindle. Not too mad about that, we'll just try and play over the top of that. Figure out what it is we can do from a lead here. Incremental value. I mean, it still might be worth teamwork training for 3 here. I was actually thinking about using the Alchemist's support ability here. If they play out the Flore, we can't actually block them. They're going to have a lot of cards going to reserve though. Doesn't really do much, but locks us in on playing the Accountant next turn. At least we'll advance. If we trade 1 for 2, we'll be alright with that if they have something else to play out. A little less impressed. Draw our 2 extra cards and play first here. They've got a choice. They get rid of the Jack Frost, obviously put the Flore in hand there. License withdrawal feels like a later sort of plan. So what we'll do, we'll get rid of the Saw here. Ascend would have been good to keep around. But we shall Jack Frost the Flore here. A little bit greedy from our opponent. I think they know we had like teamwork training or license withdrawal available at that point. What do they want to accomplish here? Gain anchored when one of your expeditions. Ah, they just concede. Alright, I think that one was gearing up a little bit more. No, not Taja. Rin. There you go. Bit of a timeout. Not too upset that it's a short and sweet one there. It was a bonus game after all. Alright. See you in a bit. I haven't actually planned a debrief or a deck tech yet. Kind of just jumped into games and wanted to play. See you there. And surprise! I'm showing off the deck in a new way this week. Thought this is as good a time as any to show it off. But yeah, altered.ageordat.com. Hosted site by someone actually hangs out in the comments. So thank you for that. Much appreciated. Didn't make the connection for a really long time, but here we are. From this point onwards, we'll probably split in between doing deck techs on the app and through here, but each week with the changes that I've made to any of the decks, we'll be linking them in the description, so you'll be able to check and see. Probably gonna overload the server because we're making constant changes. One a week, should have a bit of time, but that's okay. Gonna get a little bit unwieldy, but each week from here on in, they'll be dated. And as I said, linked in the description of each video as they come out. So if you want to have a look at the deck list in your own time, they won't be constantly updated like they would on the official app. So thank you for that, much appreciated. Big fan of it so far. Threw all of the lists up that we had going at the time I built it, so yeah, we'll be moving on from there. Bit of a change to the Thanos list that we saw earlier. Found room for the Spindle Harvesters. I think we're already playing Rare Studious Disciples, but two Alilos as well. Both of these cards play really well with Sap Infusions and Helping Hands, and obviously, you know, just boosting stuff off the regular spells you have. Not too impressed with the Baba Yaga and the field reinforcements here. Actually spoke to a Thanos player whose opinion I would trust, say they're probably the cuts to make. So field reinforcements out, in for two rare Baba Yagas, and then you can try and replace those with something else as well. Going to be a quick fire round today. This is the Sigismar wings and Wingspan list that we featured. Not many changes, although I think maybe before we actually played that one, we swapped a Gift of Self for a Sandman. But we can edit that nice and quickly. So we'll show that off quickly. One Sandman up, one Gift of Self down. Save that. And go back to the card list. There's all of them in their glory. But yeah, Bleedy's here. Just been updated. Love that for us. Deck works well. Not sure if... Oh yeah, we have to change that too. But that's alright. We'll do that another time. So, Kuat out for the council. Drawing cards, good. A lot of bodies, also good. Kind of not sure about the decision. If you have any opinions on which one we should be playing, so making 2 tokens whenever you play a non-token character for 3, or effectively just drawing 2 cards if you have 3 or more creatures. Let me know which one you think is better, because I genuinely can't figure it out. I think the other 2 slots are pretty on lock. Ziggy Stardust. This is definitely the list that we were playing. We found room for the Hungers, like that one. And Caladrius is here. Didn't get to see that in the game, but that has proved fruitful. Obviously didn't get over the line there with the game that we saw, but I don't mind this list. Bit of a fun thing to do. Probably not as good as a lot of the other lists that we had. And obviously we featured a video of this playing without uniques. I actually wonder if the uniques make the deck worse. So maybe that will be one that we bring back for the new no uniques format that's featured on BGA now. We'll work on that one. We'll figure it out, see what we can fit in there. And then the last one is Basira and Kaizaimon. So, been very unimpressed with wingsuit jumpers lately. I do like the interaction that they have if both are in your opening hand with the helping hand. So basically, you just have to sack turn one unless you've got one of your better cards. But once you hit the 4 mana, if you play out the wingsuit jumper turn one, you can play it from reserve, draw a card, helping hand it down, and then do the same thing the next turn. Obviously, only trading 1 for 1 each of those times, but seeing 2 more cards with potential for a third one, pretty good. And we'll talk quickly about this guy. So, got a rare unique Eclut in there. 5 mana, if your reserve's empty, gain a boost and fleeting. When you gains 1 or more boosts, draw a card. Obviously, this represents drawing 2 cards on the face of it. For 5 mana, still pretty good. You know, drawing cards is fairly expensive in this game, but can really be thrown into overdrive if you don't have to play it on turn 5. If you've got, for example, a Keylon cylinder in, that's an extra draw. If you've got helping hand, it actually removes the fleeting as well, and draws you a card. So those 2 cards play very kindly with it. And because we're still at our core, bit of a combo deck with the Armor of Pigs combo, yeah, seeing lots of cards is good. But we're probably going to cut wingsuit jumpers. We've played a few games with this. I'm not sure what to replace them with. Maybe like a Chiron or Blade Dancer or something. Go a little bit lower to the ground there. But I do like the Priyas here. So 4 mana for 5 stats, really good. Tough 1. Never going to be a bad thing. But it actually puts an Aerolith token in your landmarks if you advance with it, which is obviously playing well with our actual piggies here. No one's going to waste removal on a Aerolith token the way they would a Parliament of Ashes or Keylon Cylinder, so sneak it in there. Mana Eruption, just as a respect to the Hunger and other big things, so Brassbark Hives are pretty hard to beat. Not sure how Carrie's Intervention goes. Playing it as a one-of now, so we've cut down on that for the Ecluts and Cuckoos. A little bit more board presence rather than protecting us once we get to 8 mana. But yeah, there you go. Quickfire deck tech / debrief all in one. Thanks to Agedat for showing these ones, for making this possible. Yeah, big fan of your work. And alrighty then. Thanks for the games. Probably going to try and jump into some of the new formats. You know, ride that wave of hype and see what we can get done. If you have any suggestions for heroes that you would like to see, or which of the 2 you would prefer, Singleton or no uniques, let me know. I will probably cave to whatever the popular choice is. So get commenting. I'll see you there. Love your work.